Every kid comes to school with their own unique set of tools, and everyone has their own beautiful gifts to give, and I think that what I want my kids to learn from me is that we need to be accepting of all students no matter what, and to be kind to them. And if I've done that, then I feel like I've done a good job.
The lesson that I hope my students learn from me is summed up best by Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird. He said, "Real courage is knowing you're licked before you begin, but beginning anyway and seeing it through no matter what." My lesson for them is a life lesson, not necessarily a school lesson. Be brave, be courageous, take one step at a time, and see it through all the way until the end. It'll be worth it.
The most important lesson I hope I teach my students is it's not what you know, but it's who you are and what you do that matters. I want them to dream big, to work hard, to be problem solvers. I want them to be compassionate, and in everything, I want them to do their best.
Forgive others. Don't respond in a bad way to other people. When you choose your attitude, you really are choosing how you will respond to people. So just make sure every day, what is my attitude going to be for today? Make a great choice, respond to people well, and you will find you're going to be a very powerful and impressive person.
When students step foot in my classroom, I want them to grow as learners, but more than that, I want them to believe in themselves and to know that I believe in them. When students believe in themselves, anything is possible. That is the greatest lesson I can teach.
I hope my students learn that to be kind and compassionate towards one another, and that they can be the change in the world that we need to see.
The most important lessons I hope my students learn from me is that no matter their talent or skill, they have something special to share with the world. Their choices make a difference, and by doing their best with what they've been given, they can accomplish great things.
I hope my students have learned to always put forth their best effort when faced with their many challenges. My wish is that they believe in themselves as much as I believe in them.
I hope that my students learn to persevere no matter what happens, and no matter what obstacles that are placed in their path, whether that is at school or in life.
No matter if things are difficult for them, that they can and will learn hard things. It may look a little bit differently, or it may take a little bit more time, but they can and will learn in my classroom.
That kids don't give up whenever they have a hard time. I want my kids to feel like they can make mistakes and that they're going to be loved through them, and that school, particularly my classroom, is a really good place to experiment.
I want every student to leave my room every day knowing that I believe in them. And in turn, I want them to believe in themselves. Because I think when they believe in themselves, they can change the world. And that's what I get to do every day, is I get to teach 135 world changers. So I don't think there's a better job than that.
I hope that my students learn that attitude is everything. I want the students to know that we all have bad days, but it's how we handle them and what we learn from those bad days that makes the difference.
I hope that they will always remember the fun that we had together, and that I've given them the tools and resources to be confident, independent problem solvers. I hope they'll know that I always will believe in them, and they'll have a special place in my heart. Once a Holver hero, always a Holver hero.
The most important lesson I hope my students learn has nothing to do with elements of art or skillfulness in the art room. My goal is that every student leaves my classroom knowing that I'm one more teacher who truly cares about them. I hope my students can gain self-confidence in themselves, feel strength in their uniqueness, and feel loved. I want them to know that they can be anything.
That your ability to learn is not fixed. When you fail, it doesn't have to be a permanent condition. Your ability to learn can change with your effort.
To never give up and to always try their best, and that they are loved and they are so important in our community. And most importantly, I hope that they've learned to be kind to one another.
What I want my students to learn from me is that every small accomplishment should be celebrated.
I hope my students have learned that I love teaching and I love teaching them. I hope that they can use my enthusiasm and passion for learning in their life and every day as they go on forever. And I want them to believe in themselves and know that I am there and I am going to stand up for them and fight for them to succeed throughout their life.
So I never keep the folder of lessons. Every class is different, every group of students are new, so I never have that canned lesson. I have to think long and hard about what I need to present, how I need to present it, what kinds of lessons I need to fuse into the types of kiddos I have.
There is greater benefit to music education that goes far beyond playing rhythms and matching pitch. And that's the lesson I want my students to feel daily. I want to teach my students to be comfortable, encouraged, and inspired to give their best every day. I want my students to experience a sense of pride and confidence after we put in weeks of work towards a performance. And I want my students to know they are valued and loved and that they have the potential to achieve their wildest dreams.
My hope is that the students that I encounter every day feel important, valued, appreciated, and loved. My goal is to provide my students with the skills, the tools, and the confidence necessary to become the best listeners and communicators that they can be.